to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your love, for your support. If you are new to the channel, you're welcome. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Okay guys, so in today's video, I'm actually going to be showing you how to cut and sew a trendy bubu. Yes, when I say trendy bubu, bubus are really trendy. So you can see this is the fabric that I'm going to be making use. It is an Adire fabric. So that's what I'm going to be making use of. I think it's about 5 yards. I actually did not measure it. And then this is one piece of an ashoke, just one piece. So that's what I'm going to use to actually design this dress. So I'm going to show you guys 5 simple steps to make this trendy, beautiful bubu gown, or Bubu Kaftan rather. So guys, so let's just get started. So if you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would appreciate for you to hit on the subscribe button, guys. So let's just get started straight into the tutorial for today. So if you want to register for my online classes also, you can just see the number on the screen. So register for my classes, which by the way, they are really amazing. Yeah. Okay guys, so the first step is for us to fold our fabric together, the back and the front. So I folded them together. It's folded into 4. So I have my front piece is 2 and then the back is 2. So I cut them out using the length of the fabric that I want. That's the length of my gown, which is about 60 inches. So I just measured it. So after that, we're still on the first step. We're going to add our neckline. So that's still part of our first step, to fold the fabric. And then for the neckline, I'm going to be using 3 inches width. So I really don't like wide necklines. You can use 3.5 or 4 inches. So I'll mark the width, which is 3 inches, and then I'm going to come down. So that's for the length. So I use about 7 inches for my length of the front neckline. So by the way, the back and the front and the width, they are the same. So I'm just using a curve. I really don't want a sharp V. So that's why you see I used a pattern curve that is a little bit curvy at the tail end of the V. So now I'm marking the width of the back neckline also. So like I said, I use 1 inch for the length. So I just connected it together like that. So that's like our first step in this. So the next thing I'm going to cut out. So I cut out the width of the back neckline, and then I'm cutting out the front neckline, the length of the front neckline. So you cut that out that way. So the next thing, so I'm just trying to check, I'm going to slope my shoulder. So in order for me to slope my shoulder, I'll come to that part and then I'll mark 1 inch. So you see, I'm looking for my chalk, always looking for my chalk. So I mark that part, I just slope that into the shoulder part like that, and then cut it out. So the next thing, I want to notch my shoulder. So I use my shoulder measurement, which is 14. I just measured it upward because I want the ashoke to be placed on that exact point, so it's not looking rough and just out of place. So that's why you need to, where your ashoke will be, where it will get to. That's the width. So I took out the front piece. So the next thing now, which is the second step, is for us to create our facing pattern. So I took a piece of pattern paper, I folded it into 2, and then folded the front neckline also into 2. And then I traced out the V neckline on the pattern paper. So you can see I traced it out that way. And then that part that I notched, I marked that point also on my pattern paper. So now I have a guide. So from that part that I notched, I'm trying to highlight it because it will help me. Okay. So after that, I'm trying to notch that part. So I'm folding it on that's adding it on the back side also, so that I will know. So and then the front neckline also, I'm adding the V on the other side. I just want to have the exact dimensions. I don't want it to be out of place. So that is why I'm taking my time. So now I'm tracing out the neckline on my pattern paper. Since I don't have a tracing paper, so I'll just do what I have and then mark that point. So the next thing, now we're still on the second stage, which is creating our facing. So the next thing that I'm trying to do now, see, I'm looking for my ruler. It fell on the floor. God help me. So from that point, that shoulder point, so that's why it is very important to notch that shoulder point. I'm going to mark a straight line. So for this design, you actually do it however you want to, okay? So I came down a little bit to about 8 inches thereabout, and then I mark like a slanted line. And then the other part, that's the part that is going to be very long. I came down to about 18 inches thereabout, so you can just eyeball and measure yours. So from that part I just created a slope. I'm sloping it into the longer part, okay? So I'm trying to curve it in. So the truth with this design is that you can actually do it however, just bring out your own artistic skills to life and do it however you want it to be, okay? So from this other part now, I'm trying to connect the lines together. So I'll just mark it straight like that. And then, so I'm creating a curve on that point for my pattern. So I'm just looking for a way to place the pattern. However, I don't want that side to be so full straight. So that's why. So I just created like a curve, and then, so I'm trying to connect the lines back. So like I said, this part, draw whatever you want to draw, check it, look at it, make sure you like it, and then you are good to go. So as a fashion designer, you need to be artistic. So I'm done. So at the end of the day, this is what I came up with. So I did a little bit of adjustment also on it. So after cutting, I'll place it on my fabric, that's on the dress, the front part. Take a very good look at it before I continue. So I'm just trying to check it, the length, the width, the neckline. So for the neckline, I'm not going to cut it out yet. I'm just trying to check it. So this is my ashoke. So I'm trying to check to know where to cut it from. So I'm just checking. So because I still need extra for the pocket, so I'm just going to stop it there. So and then I'll cut them out and then place them on top of each other to go and stitch. So just do like a top stitch to top stitch all my ashokes together, all of the three parts that I cut out. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do. Just cut them out and then go back to my machine and stitch them together flat. So that's it. I finished stitching it. So I'm going to place my pattern on it. Make sure that I have allowance on the side, all of the allowance, and then I'll trim out now. I need allowance, extra allowance that I'll use to fold it. So me put that into place. So for this side, this other part that I left, that side is like the tip of the ashoke. So I decided to just leave that part. So I'm not going to cut that part. I'll place that part like that. So the next thing now, I'll place this again on the back of my neckline. That's the right side facing right side. You can see it on the V neckline. And then I'll take it back and sew. After sewing, I'll cut it out. It's the right side facing right side on the inside, and then I'll notch it. Make sure that I notch all of the edges. Then before I'll now flip it out. So I'm just still trying to notch it so everything relaxes nicely. So after that, I'll flip the ashoke out. The good thing with ashoke is that it is a sturdy fabric. That's stable. So it's easy to work with. So I'll place them out even without little or no ironing. So you can see. So I'll do that out. And then the next thing that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to pin it down to make sure that everything is okay. And then after that, this edge, I'm not going to stitch, I'm not going to fold it in because it's the edge of the ashoke. So this other part, I'm going to fold it in. So you can see I'm just trying to fold it in like that. And then after folding it in, this fold it in like that. Also the other part also I'm not going to fold, and then this part that I did curve for, I'll fold that part also, and then I'll take it back to my machine and then stitch everything, secure it down with a top clean stitch using the if matching fabric. So I've finished doing that. So we are done with our second stage. So the third stage now is for us to cut out our pocket, okay? So in cutting out our pocket, so I just pick two pieces of fabric. I'm trying to measure out the length of the fabric. So use any length. So for this, I used about 8 inches or thereabout. So I'm trying to just make sure that I place it on the points to see, just eyeball it first before I measure and then cut out, okay? So once I got what I wanted, the wideness, measure the width also. I use about 8 inches for the width. Okay, the length is about 12 inches. Sorry about that. And then I cut that out. And then the next thing I did, I took my remaining ashoke. So I'm just trying to check the width to make sure that it will be okay for the pocket. Okay, So that ashoke, I'm going to fold it into two. I want to cut it into two. I just want to see how it will come on it. So I'll cut that out right now. I'm just trying to check. So of course I'm going to sew it and turn it and then top stitch it again on the right side of the pocket piece. So I've finished stitching it, and then after stitching it, I'll turn it out nice, now facing the right side. And then I'll just use my hand to stretch it down and then fold in the edges, just like we did that neck part. I fold out the edges, and then I'll take this back to my machine, and then I will go and stitch it just to secure it down. That's the tip. So after securing it down, now this now brings us to our this now brings us now to our fourth stage for us to fix the pockets. So I'm just showing you guys now how to fix the pocket. So what you will do, just make sure it is about 14 inches thereabout from your shoulder, or 15 inches. Just measure. Because of the longer part of my facing, I had to bring down my pocket a little bit. So I'm just trying to check, to double check. Okay, so I've placed it. So the next thing, I'll take it back and then stitch it down. So fold all of the edges inside. Okay, so now the final stage now is, which is like the part 4B, which is stage 4B, is for me to go and stitch down my shoulder. So stitch the shoulder down. So after stitching the shoulder now, this brings us to the final stage, which is for us to join the side. So in joining the side, the way to make it easy is for me to fold my fabric. So I'm using the back piece. I folded it down, and then I'm going to check. So this will actually makes it really easy for you, okay? So fold it down. It is easier for you to measure it this way. So the next thing, I'm going to measure the length of my sleeve, which is about 23. After folding, it's come to 22. So now the next thing is the length. That's how wide do I want my sleeve. I used 26 inches, which is from the shoulder is 13, which is okay. I like it. I want it to be wide. So from that part, that 13 inches that I measured, that's to drop. The next thing, I'll use my bust measurement. I'm dividing my bust measurement into 4. I placed it, which is 36. I placed that measurement there, and then I'm going to add as much as 5 inches because I want my boo to be very free. So you can add as a little bit less or more, but 5 is okay. I want that rich anti vibe. So from that point where I measured my sleeve opening, I made a curve. Just curve it up to the measurement that I use for my boo. So from there, that's my bust measurement plus 5 inches. So you can see I'm just taking it down, that same measurement. I'm measuring it down to the hem. So I'm just chalking it to make sure. Okay. So yes, I'm just trying to check. So I'll bring it to the down part of the boo also, my kaftan. So I'll measure the same. I want the same width. So I'll mark it on that part. And then from that part, I'm going to leave a little bit of about 8 inches. I'm not going to stitch it. So I'll leave that part. So the next thing, I'll do the same thing on the other side. So this other excess, I'm going to cut it out, but I don't want to cut it out yet. I want to sew it first. So at the end of the day, you can see how the boo, after joining everything, the boo came out really fine, nice and beautiful. So as beginners, if you follow these 5 simple steps, you'll be able, just follow all the steps small. You'll be able to cut and sew a boo kaftan with less supervision. So thank you so much. You can see the vibes. It came out really fine. I loved the outcome. Yeah, this is the first time I'm actually trying this ashoke stuff on my boo, and the thing came out really fine. So guys, so you can see. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button, and if you have not subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.